Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Your Money. If you are here for the first time, my name is Tasha. I am a wife of an amazing husband, a mother of 3 boys, and on this channel we talk about everything related to personal finance, specifically focusing on budgeting and managing money. So if that is of interest to you, please make sure you click like on this video, subscribe, and keep in mind that on Thursdays is a special live that I always do, talking around lunchtime. We talk about everything from how we manage our money, how do we budget our money, tips and tricks on doing things that help increase your understanding of why budgeting is important and how to do it. Now, in today's video, it is a live and I am a wife and mother in real life. So we are currently on a spring break, and today is the first day, so I am not going to be able to share my camera because everyone is here. My small children are here, my oldest is here, and this is real life. But I didn't want to skip today because I felt like I just like talking to you guys, and I'm hoping that with my new setup, I am using an Ethernet cable directly attached to my router. I think, I'm not sure, I'm not technologically savvy, but I set it up differently, so hopefully there's no skips, there's no you can hear me clearly. And if you can hear me clearly, even though you won't be able to see me today, if you can hear me clearly, please let me know in the comments. I see a bunch of people who have already joined, and I'm so grateful for you always showing up. Tara is here from Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. Please go and subscribe to her channel if you're here and you haven't already. And make sure you also subscribe to her lifestyle channel, Tara Gay Nicole. Mandy, who is a member of the channel, she just changed her channel name to Mandy's Budgeting Journey. Please go and check her out. Don't worry, I'm here. I have kids, you guys. It's real life. I'm a real woman. I'm a real wife. I'm a one-woman show here. This is not like a huge channel where I have like partners and whatnot. I'm just, just getting through lunchtime now with the kids and getting them settled down after a busy morning. They wake up on 100 and they stay on 100. Hi, Angel. Again, I did mention Tara and Mandy. Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a part of this. I have not forgotten to send out the monthly freebie. I will be doing that today. Okay, it's just life is just being very busy. Hey, Desiree. And you guys are talking to each other, so that's amazing. I really, really appreciate you guys. I'm glad it's not skipping. And you said yes. I hope I don't skip at all. To the router. Okay, it attaches to the router, so that's what it is. I don't know. There are 4 different like ports on there where I plugged in the Ethernet cable, so I just plugged it in, attached it to this I forgot what this thing is called, but whatever this contraption is that's connected to my laptop, hopefully it is working. I sound clear, even with the planes going overhead. I guess people are going on their spring break and they're flying out every 5 minutes. I'm hearing planes. So if you can hear me clearly, that's great. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Joseph, the camera is not on, so nobody can see you. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Nobody can see you.
What?
No one can see you. You want to say, stop it. Say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, you can go sit down. All right.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Mom.
So we're talking about facing our money truths. And I really, really love that this is something that was brought up. 2 people, Desiree from I Desire Wealth, and then also Shalise over at Mommy Trader. Now, when I want to get real and I want to just be realistic here, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here because I know it's during the workday, and some people this is not yet a lunch hour. So let me get to what I think is important to talk about and to confront when you're talking about your money. You're talking about trying to build generational wealth, right? We're talking about that a lot on this channel, not as much lately in the past, let's say year, but it is still a focus for me and my husband to build generational wealth. And something that really surprised me today. I watched a video from Tara over at Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. She was doing her April budget, and she was recapping, and she was talking about, just trying to get tips and ways to increase her income or make additional money without actually having to work a part-time job. And I said this in one of my recent videos that has not posted yet.
My stomach hurts. My stomach hurts.
In Jesus' name. Are you eating too fast?
Yeah.
Well, then sit down and take a breath and relax. All right? He just wants to be a part of the live stream, you guys. Please forgive that. So, one of the things that I mentioned in the comments to my friend Tara, and one of the things I said in a video that has not released yet, but will release like in the next week or two, is that you have to use what you have in your hands. The reality is, I was working for Jesus. I was working for an agent several years. Well, I stopped working in January of 2021, but 2022. But before then, years before, I transitioned to working for one agent, one small agency, from working at McDonald's. And I didn't want to just depend on that one income, even though I have professional licenses. I was still working for someone else. And I needed to find other ways to be able to bring in income. So around 2015, near the end of 2015, I decided I want to go ahead and study to become a notary public, because I was looking for other ways to make income that wouldn't take away from my full-time job, and two, something that I could do on my own time, and it wouldn't take a lot of night classes and going to school, going to college, because I've done that. I've been there with a child, having a toddler and needing to go work full time and go to college. Like, my schedule wouldn't permit that. And I had just come out of a very tumultuous relationship. So that relationship, even though it was over romantically, I still had to parent or co-parent with that person. So my time was always eaten up because there was always some kind of dramatic experience. So I said to myself, what can I do to bring in extra income? So the one thing I did, even though I was working a full-time job, although I didn't have any savings, I was still, like paying down a lot of debt, and I just had a lot of things I wasn't focused on when it came to money, like um old medical bills and overdraft fees from banks that were like sent to collections and stuff like that. I wasn't focusing on all of that. I was just trying to make sure I paid my student loans and I could get to and from work. I could feed my baby and I could clothe myself because I had to work in an office setting. But I said to myself, I'm not going to give up. I found a way to make extra money and I signed up to become a notary public. So I went and I took the exam. Very easy exam. The booklet itself is very easy. And now I can make money on my own time. And I don't have to, I mean, of course you have to follow the laws and the guidelines, but I don't have to answer to like one person directly. I can do it however and whenever I want. So that was one way I started um, making additional money on the side from there. And every time I attested a signature, every time I witnessed a signature, every time I stamped a document, I took that money, that $2 or that $4 or whatever it was, depending on how many documents I had to witness. I took that money and I put it into a high yield savings account. At the time, I didn't realize that's what it was, but HSBC had this amazing deal on a savings account. And I said, every time I make money from this side income, I'm going to put it right there. And it wasn't a whole lot, but it started to add up. And after a few weeks, maybe like a couple months, I started seeing hundreds of dollars being built up in there. And I didn't have to use it because I already made up in my mind that this is what I'm going to do, because it's not something that comes regularly. It's just like it happens when it happens. And I'm going to throw that money to the side and let the interest work for me too. And it did. It worked for me. That's one thing I decided to do. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to choose to be a notary public or do any, type of, get some kind of certification, but there is something you can do. You just have to focus your mind on what it is can I do to bring in extra money, or to not be afraid to do something that's difficult or outside of my comfort zone, to break free of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, to break free from this debt that has me like bound by the ankles or the wrist. Like find something that you can do that won't break you, but it will cause you to stretch a little bit. It's going to have to be uncomfortable for a little while. It was uncomfortable for me to go and sit for a test and an exam when I had to take a day off of work and I was afraid to do that. Try something. Not everybody is good at everything. I know Sarah was talking about Poshmark, and I thought that's awesome, but I tried that. I tried Poshmark. I tried something else. I don't remember the name of it now. There's another app where you can resell things like clothes and kids' toys and things like that. I suck at that. It just doesn't work for me. But there are other things that I'm good at. So I would say if you're going to be real about where you are, if you know you're not making enough money to make ends meet right now, or you're not hitting some goals that you really want to hit, find out what you're good at and seriously take that moment and say, okay, I have to step out of my comfort zone. Maybe I don't like talking to a lot of people. Maybe I don't have good handwriting. I don't know. There's a whole list of things that we kind of tell ourselves in our heads that we're not good enough. We can't do this. We can't do that. There is something, sis or bro, that you are good at, that you can monetize in a way that doesn't hurt or harm anyone else. It just makes you better, and it doesn't have to be long term. One of the things that I was avoiding during the very beginning of, I want to say, my journey into entrepreneurship, which is around like 2015. Like seriously, in 2015, I started to really step out there. One of the things that hindered me was being afraid of the person I used to be in a relationship with, because um, around that time I had we were going through some battles, like emotionally, even legally, we were going through some battles, and I was afraid that I didn't have anybody to stand up for me. So I didn't want to really step out there and start doing things because I felt like I was going to be labeled a bad mother if I had to go to meetings at a certain time at night and I had to leave someone, leave my child somewhere, or I had to take him with me to school. Or, I started to doubt whether I could really break out of where I was, because I was living in a place that I was not comfortable living in. I didn't want to live in that apartment. I didn't want to pay that landlord. The person who I was renting from was just a beast. She was not a beast in a good way. She was a beast in a mean way. And I didn't want to live there anymore, but I didn't have a way out because I didn't have enough money. And because I still had collection notices coming. Wherever I moved to, collection notices were coming. The state that I lived in, apparently my previous partner, he had done something crooked and I ended up having to pay the bill. And every year my tax refunds were getting like garnished, in a sense, because there were things that weren't reported, and it was all kinds of issues, and I was afraid to face it because I felt like I didn't know how to break out of it. And the reality is, if you don't face the problem, if you don't face the issue, it'll continue to haunt you, and then you'll continue to live in the same cycle of living broke to Monday, paycheck to paycheck, not having enough, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm like, that's not where it is. We have to face those things. I realized that one of the things I should have done is sought out help through other people. Like I had mentors through Primerica, because I did work with Primerica for a while. I listened to testimonies of people who started their businesses from zero, from the ground up, and they were making headway. And one of the number one reasons was they were facing their reality and they were breaking past the wall of limitations, because these people didn't limit themselves. In Primerica, I have thought about being a secret shopper. I've actually tried that, but in my area where I live right now, it's not feasible for me because of the distance of the stores that they want you to go to. But that is on my list. That is something that's on my list. Um, I thought, if I listen to these people, don't pour any more water in there, Josiah. Thank you. So I thought about, you know, these people who are representing a set of people. I see that. Um, I'm gonna only be a few minutes longer because this one is making mess. My 3-year-old is making a mess. Get that paper towel and clean it up. No, put that down on the table. Thank you. No, you can help him. Go and get some paper towel and wipe up that water from there. Do it that. No, put that down. And get the paper towel quickly. Thank you. Oh, Desiree sent the link. I'm sorry, you guys. I told you it was going to be kind of real. Okay. Secretshop.com. Okay. I know I'm trying to remember her name. She was so sweet. I'm going to leave this here so anybody, if you're watching still, if you're listening, this is something you can check out if you're interested. Um Beth, she changed her channel name. I forgot what it used to be, but she used to be here all the time. And I guess she's just doing different things now, but I know she mentioned it before about being a secret shopper and how much it saved her on groceries. That's a great way to do it. Because especially right now with the way inflation is just creeping up, it seems like every week it's just costs more to do to buy the regular food items, to buy the fruit, to buy the healthy things, let alone the snacks and all of that. It costs a lot. So being a secret shopper, she used to talk about it on her channel in the very beginning, where she would save so much money and basically get her groceries for free or very, very inexpensive. So thank you, Desiree, for sharing that link. I appreciate that. Um, what else? Somebody, I saw Chris Budget's name in here. I don't want to highlight it because I want to keep this up for a minute. But Chris Budget's, this is a mess over here. Chris Budget's, she always says something about working and twerking. She's doing a whole lot, and I appreciate that because mothers have to multitask. Mothers have to do what they need to do, and I feel like one of the things you should definitely do, whether you're a mother or not, if you're just a woman, period, it's harder out here for us to manage all the things that we need to do, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our loved ones, and then making that money. Don't be afraid to look at those collection notices if you still got them coming in. Don't be afraid to look at your budget. Don't be afraid to track your expenses. Don't be afraid to try something new to bring in a little extra income. Don't burn yourself out, but don't put yourself in a corner and cower, because I'm telling you, you have more good things in you than all of the bad things going on around you combined. There's some gifts that God gave you. There's some things that you can do, even temporarily, let's say for a year, to make it happen. I want to shout out Tara again, because one of the things I remember is that when she was working on her humble home and she started talking about her journey towards home ownership, one of the things she did, even after taking a break, and I hope you don't mind me saying this because I know you shared some of this openly, but one of the things that she talked about, um, after she took her break from her channel, was that she got a second job. She got a part-time job to increase, I think it was to increase the down payment and to save a little bit more to make it work. I appreciate that kind of content. Why? Because it's realistic. You know that a lot of people on social media, even on YouTube, they try to put on this facade that everything is perfect and everything is well, and I make all this money and I did this amazing thing. And most of it, a lot of it, hi, a lot of it is lies, a lot of it is fluffed up and it's not real. People, we do have to face the difficult things that happen or that are going on, but we have the power. All right. We have the ability, we have the power, we have the understanding, we have the knowledge, we have the strength to get through it, get over it, get past it, and make good things happen. Um, I promise that I will try my best. I don't know if I will come back next week, but I will try my best to make sure that this live is more put together and hopefully helpful um, in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so next week, Thursday, is the 13th. And of course, that is, everyone is still on spring break at that point. So I might not actually come back on until the 20th. Just stick a pin there because I don't know if I'll have a live on Thursday next week. But I hope that something that we said here, even in this last 20 minutes, hit a nerve or encourage you or inspired you in some way to not give up. Everything that I do right now, I realize it's not perfect. Everything is not pristine and clean and all of that. I try my best to present information on my channel in a way that women can be inspired and encouraged. I hope that as long as I continue to do that, you will find some inspiration here. But perfection, it is not. Highlight reels, definitely not. Hey, Kathy. I saw highlight reels and I just said it out loud. Hi, Kathy. We are here to show the real journey and to get us out of the place where we're just putting on rose colored glasses. Everything is not pristine and perfect all the time, but we can definitely still make great things happen. You just have to believe that you can. Crystal is another representation, hi Crystal, of someone who is making things happen. And I one of the first people besides Salisa from Beautifully Me and You, who talked about being an author and writing books and creating things that you can sell. Crystal was the second one, and I bought her book, and I looked and I said, this woman is an author and she's doing a lot of great things. And some people just want to see the end result, and that okay, you're probably buying properties and you're making $1 million a year, or you got these 6 and 7 figures income, but it starts with facing your money truths. It starts with getting real with who you are and what you are. Not everybody is going to own an Airbnb. Not everybody is going to be Oprah Winfrey, but it doesn't mean that your life can't be successful and you can't win with your money. That's just what I wanted. That's kind of the gist of what I wanted to get across today. You can still win with your money, but you have to be real about where you are so you can get through it. You can get past it, because pretending there's not a roadblock in front of you is not going to make it go away. At some point, you will definitely have to face it. Hey, Shalise, aren't you still on vacation? Aren't you in Disney having fun with the family? I appreciate you coming in. Um, because again, everyone is home, especially my littles. There's some background noise, and I'm not showing my face today, but I just hope that you know. Again, what I said in these past 20 minutes, there's something inspiring about it. And again, thank you to Desiree who shared that link for the secret shopper. There are ways to make money, you guys, that does not have to either break your body, break your bank, or um, break your soul. You understand? There's ways. You just have to do it. And I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm wondering maybe you just working offline, which is absolutely fine. But yes,
Mommy, turn my hat because I need to spell game on.
game, good, good.
Game.
What's the first letter?
G.
Good. And the letter that makes the A sound. Very easy. What letter is that? Good. Game.
M.
Good. And the E is silent. There's an E at the end. It's silent. Okay.
Game.
Good. What's the link?
Game on. Game on.
You said 72 hours, Crystal? I'm trying to find the comments, but so many is popping up. Okay. So that's 3 days or 4 days. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope the boys and your teenager, I hope they all had fun. Either way, make it work, honey. Okay. All right. So can you give us a link, Crystal? Oh, 3 days. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still smart. I might not be the best at counting that much, but thank you. 3 days. Okay. Good. 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 Because I want to share this with you. Again, being real, not every day feels like a good day, and not every season feels like the best empowered season, and not everything is for social media. But I can tell you this: you have what it takes to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. If you don't believe that, if you start hearing something different other than that, know that it is a lie, and that you can overcome, you can get through it. Not every day feels like the best, not every month feels like it's going to be the best, but it doesn't mean you're not making progress. And one of the reasons why I think I've been consistently sharing the expense tracking and the budget the way I do is because it's not always a large amount. It's not always the best spending week or the best spending month, but consistently, if you do it, you'll see a pattern and you'll know how to stop patterns in their tracks, or you'll get to the point where it becomes so easy and like second nature that you'll start to see growth, you'll see increase, and you'll get new ideas. No, if you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're not seeing progress, then of course you need to shift and change some things. But if you are doing something consistently and you have seen growth, you have seen increase in savings, you have seen a trend where you're spending less money that you shouldn't be spending, then of course you are doing something great. So even if you have a slow week, you have a slow month, you have a little setback, it doesn't mean that you can't reach the goal. It doesn't mean that you can't get there. You just have to work a little harder or a little smarter, and surround yourself with people who are maybe already past where you want to be, who are going to encourage you and tell you the truth, not give you again that shiny highlight reel, but they're going to give you the truth. And the raw truth about it is that you might have to go through some difficulties, but it doesn't mean you can't jump over the hurdle, or you can't speak to the mountain and make it crumble and fall. You just have to keep pushing. Some days my head is down, but I constantly have to remind myself through prayer, through just praise and worship, and say, God, I know you didn't call me to walk around depressed and oppressed and feeling like I don't have enough. So that is not who we were created to be. So if you don't receive anything else from today's live, just know that you're going to get past every hurdle. You just have to push yourself some days. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I had 1307 car maintenance repairs yesterday, so it's been a tough week, but I'm grateful I had the cash, even though it wasn't at all from that category. Let me tell you something. I could scream something right now, because there were years where there was no money in my account. There was negative balances, and there was no way to buy diapers. There was no way to buy food. How were we going to do it? And there were times where complete strangers came up and gave me money or something like that. And then sometimes it didn't happen at all. And I'd be in tears. But look, reading your comment, Kathy, is a testament to how much you have been doing the right things with your money. Because what if you didn't have it? That's that's digging deeper in a hole. Because easily you could swipe a credit card and say, okay, charge 1,300 to my credit card for this, and now you have to figure a way out, but you didn't have to do that. So it's difficult, I know, but compare this difficult to something that was difficult years ago. There's no comparison. I think it's amazing to know that even though I have to drain this account, we had to pay for a huge bill earlier this week. And I sat there and I said, okay. And the money was gone in seconds. It might have taken me a couple months to save it up, but it was gone instantly. But what if we didn't have the money? Then I would have been crying and holding my head, stressing out, saying, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But the saving grace is we had it. You had it. And that's what's so amazing, you know? So I can breathe easy. I hope this was good to you guys, because it was good to me, even 28 minutes in. And oh my gosh, you guys, have I been skipping at all, or has it been smooth? You probably heard everything, even my husband yelling at the kids in the background, and my 3-year-old crying to get out of the chair. Like, I hope, even though with the background noise, I hope it was smooth this time. Even though you couldn't see me, what did my voice skip out at all? Oh my gosh, I do. I have to pay my business credit card off today, which is like, but I'd rather see it at zero than to see a few $100s still sitting on that card as a balance. Don't touch my honored board, Joseph. So I know that. So let me go because my 3-year-old is getting chewed out. So let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Was it okay? Did I skip out at all? Was it smooth? Please let me know. Because I don't know if I want to keep this up or not, but I might just do it and see if I can edit it. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, you guys. Until the next time, Remember to mind your money, y'all. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Have a beautiful weekend. I hope the weather is warm where you are. Bye for now.